President Granger reiterates his government's commitment to GECOM's independence, and Stabroek Block projected revenue stands at more than 24 trillion Guyana dollars. It's Thursday, August 8th. We have lots to tell you today. The coalition government remains committed to GECOM's independence and will support its constitutional mandate to host free, fair, and credible elections. On August 8th, following what was described as a very brief meeting between the officials of the Guyana Elections Commission and top government representatives, President David Granger reiterated his assurance of government's commitment to continue upholding the independence of the Guyana Elections Commission.
Although it is early in the tenure of the new chairman, I don't think it was inappropriate to meet at this time to give her the assurance that the government is going to continue to observe the independence of the Election Commission. It will not dictate, it will not interfere, it will not intrude in the work of the Commission. It will observe all of the roles and responsibilities of the Commission given to it by the Constitution.
The coalition government's stance to uphold GECOM's independence and fully support its work was also echoed by the Director General.
The President made it clear that we were interested in early elections and in credible elections, and that the government will not dictate in any way to the Commission how they will do their work. The Commission will advise government, advise His Excellency the President on what they perceive to be the issues, and the chairman did in fact commit to having met with the full commission at their meeting on the 15th of August, that she will thereafter communicate to His Excellency the position of the commission.
In response to a question about the case before the courts on the legality of the ongoing house-to-house registration process, President Granger said he will be guided accordingly.
Our concern is with credible elections, and we have said over and over again that if the list is flawed, it must be corrected. It is for the Commission to say how it will correct that list. But as leader of the People's National Congress Reform, as chairman of a Partnership for National Unity, as president of Guyana, we are interested in credible elections. And this has been said repeatedly, and that is what we are aiming at. So we will accept any formula, any rule, or any decision which satisfies the requirements for credible elections.
President David Granger and a high-level team are due to meet the opposition leader and his team on August 9.
The CCJ was quite clear that it would issue no coercive orders and it cannot direct the Commission when to hold elections. If ballot papers have not yet been printed, can I tell the Commission to have elections on the 18th of August if they have not printed ballot papers? This is what I describe as the Abuja scenario, where on the morning of elections, the Election Commission called the government of Nigeria and said, we're not ready. I shall wait on the advice of the Commission.
Guyana is well on its way to becoming one of the wealthiest countries in the world in per capita terms, as the total estimated income from the 13 discoveries made so far by ExxonMobil at the Stabroek Block is now projected to be more than 24 trillion Guyana dollars.
This is according to a report from Oil Now, who spoke to Shriner Parker, Rystad Energy's vice president for Latin America and the Caribbean. The projection is based on analysis of production from all discoveries made so far over the life of the 6.6 million acres Stabroek Block. Parker explained the entirety of that production was examined and was modeled against the government's take. Quote, using our proprietary price forecast, looking forward, we're then able to say how much a barrel of oil is going to be worth through the entirety of life of production, and then we're able to associate the percentage of government take associated with each barrel back to the government in dollar term. End of quote. Rystad Energy's income projection is based on an updated 6.4 billion barrels of oil equivalent estimate it had made for the Stabroek Block, which takes into account the 13 discoveries made by ExxonMobil to date. In 2018, Rystad Energy's estimated income from what at the time was a total of 8 discoveries at Stabroek stood at about $100 billion. The report noted that projection for the block will continue to increase as more discoveries are made. ExxonMobil had recently disclosed that it could drill as much as 4 wells by year-end as it continues to search for more oil. Ongoing exploration at the Jethro Loeb prospect at Oronduke will be followed by a campaign at Joe Den Karapa prospect on the Kanuku license in the third quarter of 2019, where Tullow is partnering with Repsol. CGX Energy Incorporated has entered into a definite rig agreement and is expected to commence drilling on the Utakawa 1 well in its Currentine block before the end of the year. The heightened activities further increase the potential for multiple additional discoveries offshore Guyana, adding to the already substantial revenue government is set to receive from Stabroek. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
The administration is actively engaging stakeholders to address crime, violence, and drug use in schools.
A national consultation to agree on a crime, violence, and mitigation training program is being held with the private and public sectors. The exercise is being facilitated by CARICOM. Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan revealed that a recent assessment was done on risks, threats, and protective factors pertaining to crime and violence in primary schools and drug demand reduction in secondary schools. These findings will be presented to the stakeholders who are tasked with developing an action plan to address the findings.
The objective of this broader activity under which the assessments fall is to build the capacity of school teachers, the counselors and administrators and community leaders for what is called and is growingly now being recognized as the way to go as evidence-based interventions to address crime and violence in primary schools and in secondary schools, and in the related communities that those schools come from.
Minister Ramjatan said this will be achieved through data collection, analysis, and the design and implementation of relevant prevention and mitigation strategies. This includes appropriate training for youths in and out of school.
Addressing risk factors for drug use, truancy, and school-based violence, while at the same time strengthening protective factors in school settings and communities in the Caribbean, is crucial to efforts to achieve the goal of the ideal Caribbean person, and importantly, maintaining sustainable development gains in human and social development in the region. In this regard, comprehensive policies and programs are needed to promote what we call pro-social, non-sexual, and non-violent environments in classrooms and throughout schools.
Minister Ramjatan also highlighted that crime and violence prevention training opportunities will also be made available to parents, teachers, and community leaders. Isaiah Broffett for InfoHub.
As we go to the break, here's a reminder that Sunday, August 11, is the observance of Eid al-Adha. The holiday will be observed on Monday. Still to come, Region 1 administration creating opportunities for youths and 5-year scholarships for Region 9's top NGSA students. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways, and lush enriching rainforest, which provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. Enhancing the lives of young people in Region 1 is a top priority for the Northwest District's Regional Administration. Regional Executive Officer Randolph Storm outlines some of the initiatives to come on stream to benefit the youth.
We are planning to improve the Mabaruma settlement ground. Some $12+ million will be spent there. We will improve the pavilion, we will do the fence.
Ario Storm also noted a stage will be built for artists to perform. Port Kaituma's recreational ground is also set to receive a facelift.
It will give the youth the opportunity to be involved in sports and games. Presently, we are also using the Mabaruma settlement ground, where classes are being conducted for those young people who did not do as well as they should have done in school.
With 46% of the regional budget spent thus far, opportunities will be created for youth at the region's Technical Institute.
We want to reopen our workshop so they can get practical training during the August vacation. And we also plan to create positions for them by having a maintenance department. Right now, the region has no maintenance department, where we can employ those in auto mechanics, welding, plumbing, carpentry, masonry. So when they come back, we have a place for them.
39 skilled youth from the Technical Institute have been employed by the regional administration. The construction of the maintenance workshop is within the region's budget. Shaquille Bourne, Foreign Info Hub.
The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs has offered full 5-year scholarships to 13 students of Region 9, including the top performers at this year's National Grade 6 Assessment.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock made the announcement Wednesday morning during an awards ceremony for the high achievers held at the Indigenous Conference Center, Latham. The scholarship includes a monthly stipend, uniform and stationery allowances, and accommodation for students who wish to attend the secondary schools in Georgetown. With 515 marks, top student 11-year-old Alana Lewis has been awarded a place at the Bishop's High School. The former Iowa primary school student is beyond elated, especially since she will be able to attend the coveted city school.
I studied late at night and I woke early in the morning to study. And before going to school, I also studied. When I came home from school, I also studied.
In second place is the bubbly Kadiri De Silva, who will be attending the St. Rose's High School. She acquired 504 marks at the examination. De Silva is thankful for the support she received, especially from her mother during her primary school years. Aspiring pilot Ethan Gersahai said he had hoped to have gained more than his 501 marks. Although he lost 33 minutes in one of his exams, he is still happy to have attained a place at the St. Joseph's High School.
From grade 1, I focused on studying topics after topics. So after the 6 years, I was able to cover all and gain this mark.
Minister Alicock told the students that their excellent performance this year is testament to the investment in education by the government, especially in the hinterland regions.
In 2015, the pass rate was 13%. As it stands today, as my information goes, we are at 45%. I must also tell you that I felt really down when in 2015 we were told that according to the report that the communities, the regions of regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, I think they were below the national average. Well, I can tell you today, you have made that change. You have done what we were expecting.
The minister reminded the students of President David Granger's recent announcement of providing free education from nursery to university and the positive impact it will have on each of Guyana's citizens. Reporting for InfoHub, I'm Alexis Rodney.
Your Tecum tip for the day: you must register if you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, 14 years and older by October 31, 2019, or as a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for not less than 1 year preceding the qualifying date. The Guyana Elections Commission is currently conducting house-to-house registration. Make it your responsibility to get registered. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. And pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.